Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine while walking through the woods? A feeling that you're being watched from just beyond the tree line. Now, imagine that feeling amplified 1,000 times. Imagine a forest where the sun never truly breaks through. A place permanently wrapped in a cold, grey blanket of mist. This is the Pustoshi. Locals from the scattered, remote villages that border this ancient, sprawling forest will tell you it's no ordinary place. They speak in hushed tones, their eyes wide with a deep, inherited fear. They say the mist isn't weather, it's alive. It's the breath of something ancient and hungry, something that slumbers in the dark, damp heart of the woods. And within this suffocating veil, things hunt, things that defy explanation. These aren't just stories to scare children into coming home before dark. They're stark, desperate warnings. They are tales woven from the real-life disappearances of those who dared to stray from the marked paths. Those whose final, terrified screams were absorbed by the silent, oppressive fog, leaving no echo behind. Today, we're going to step off that path. We're going to pull back the curtain of fog and peer into the shadows of the Pustoshi. We'll delve into the chilling accounts, the eyewitness testimonies, and the whispered legends of the impossible creatures that call this haunted forest home. What truly lurks in the heart of the Pustoshi? Stick around, and perhaps we'll find out together. One of the oldest and most persistent tales from the Pustoshi is that of the Tanglewood Stalker. It doesn't have a more formal name, because those who have seen it and lived rarely have the composure to describe it coherently. The descriptions that have been pieced together over generations paint a truly nightmarish picture. It's said to be a creature of impossible anatomy, a being with far too many limbs, each one jointed at unnatural angles. Imagine a spider, but fused with the gnarled branches of a dead oak tree, moving with a horrifying, scuttling grace that is both silent and unnervingly fast. Its limbs, they say, are not for walking, but for climbing, clinging to the massive, moss-covered trunks of the ancient trees, disappearing into the canopy where the mist is thickest. From there, it watches. Its eyes are the most commonly described feature, multiple pairs of them, glowing with the soft, malevolent light of dying embers. They don't blink, they just stare, tracking any warmth, any movement, any life that trespasses in its domain. The story of a fur trapper named Ilara from the late 19th century is often recounted as the most credible encounter. She was a seasoned woodswoman, born and raised on the edge of the Pustoshi, and she knew the forest's dangers better than anyone. But one season, the game was scarce, and desperation drove her deeper into the mist than she had ever gone before. She described a sudden, bone-deep silence falling over the woods. The birds stopped singing. The insects ceased their chirping. The only sound was the drip, drip, drip of condensation from the leaves. Then she felt it, the weight of a gaze from above. Looking up, she saw them, 6 pinpricks of dull red light, observing her from the high branches of a colossal pine. As her eyes adjusted, a shape began to resolve itself from the grey miasma. A knot of tangled branch-like legs, a torso that seemed to be made of dark, wet bark, and those terrible, glowing eyes. Ilara didn't scream. She was too terrified. She simply dropped her pack and ran. She didn't look back, but she could hear it. A dry, scraping sound, like dead branches being dragged across stone, keeping pace with her effortlessly from the trees above. She burst from the tree line, gasping, collapsing at the edge of her village, her face pale as the mist itself. She never set another trap, and until the day she died, she would not go near the forest's edge after dusk. Her story serves as a chilling foundation for the legend, a warning that some things in the woods are best left undisturbed. Then there is the entity known only as the Whispering Woe. Unlike the Tanglewood Stalker, this creature is rarely, if ever, seen. Its presence is felt, and more terrifying, it is heard. Travelers and lagers who have worked the perilous fringes of the Pustoshi speak of a strange phenomenon that occurs when the mist rolls in, particularly thick, so thick you can't see your own hand in front of your face. It begins subtly, a faint whisper, just at the edge of hearing. At first, you might dismiss it as the wind rustling through the leaves, or your own mind playing tricks on you in the disorienting fog. But then it grows clearer. The whispers start to sound like voices, familiar voices. The legend says the Whispering Woe can mimic the voice of anyone you have ever loved or lost. A lost child calling for their parent, a deceased spouse murmuring your name, a long-lost friend begging for help, their voice sounding like it's just a few feet away, just beyond that next tree. It's a cruel psychological trap. The entity plays on your deepest emotional attachments, your grief, and your instinct to help. The tale of a young man named Stefan illustrates the horror of this perfectly. His younger sister, Anya, had vanished near the Pustoshi years earlier, presumed to have gotten lost and succumbed to the elements. Stefan never gave up hope, frequently venturing along the forest's edge, calling her name. One evening, as a dense fog bank consumed the landscape, he heard it. Anya's voice, clear as day, crying his name. "Stefan, I'm here. Help me. I'm scared." His heart leaped. Logic abandoned him. All he could think was that his sister was alive. He plunged into the mist, following the sound of her desperate pleas. The voice led him deeper and deeper into the woods, always seeming just out of reach. "I'm here, Stefan. Just a little further." The villagers organized a search party the next morning. They found his footprints leading from the main path and disappearing into the densest part of the Pustoshi. They called for him for days, but the only response was the echoing silence of the forest. Neither Stefan nor his sister were ever seen again. The Whispering Woe, they say, doesn't kill you with claws or teeth. It lures you to your doom, leading you so far into the labyrinthine woods that you can never find your way back, leaving you to be swallowed whole by the mist and whatever else waits within it. Perhaps the most enigmatic and least understood of the Pustoshi-s denizens is the one the old texts call the Mist-Eater, or the Grey Shepherd. This entity is different. While the Stalker hunts and the Woe deceives, the Mist-Eater's purpose is far more cosmic. and far more terrifying in its implications. It isn't described as a creature of flesh and bone, but as a distortion in reality itself. Witnesses, often lone wanderers, who have become profoundly lost, speak of seeing the mist itself begin to move with unnatural purpose. They describe seeing the fog coalesce, pulling together to form a vast, towering, vaguely humanoid shape. It has no features, no eyes, no mouth, just a silhouette against the grey, a void in the shape of a giant. It moves slowly, deliberately, its form constantly shifting and swirling, like smoke in a jar. The legend of the Grey Shepherd is tied to the very nature of the Pustoshi's mist. The old stories claim that the forest is a place where the barrier between our world and somewhere else is thinned. The mist isn't a product of our world's climate. It's a leak from another dimension, a place of perpetual twilight and silence. The Grey Shepherd is the gatekeeper, or perhaps the gardener, of this otherworldly encroachment. Its actions are what truly inspire dread. It isn't said to attack people. Instead, it is seen herding the mist. People have reported seeing this colossal shape use its formless arms to push and guide the fog, sometimes blocking a path, other times clearing a way where none existed before. More frighteningly, it has been seen to consume things. A deer that wanders too close to the being is enveloped by its misty form. For a moment, the deer's shape is visible within the fog, thrashing, and then it simply dissolves. It doesn't leave a body. It doesn't leave blood. It's just gone, erased from existence, as if it never was. An old, half-mad hermit who lived his entire life in a cabin on a hill overlooking the Pustoshi claimed to have watched the Grey Shepherd for decades. He wrote in a journal, found after his death, that the shepherd wasn't just consuming animals. He claimed to have seen it envelop entire sections of the forest. A grove of ancient oaks he had known his whole life was there one day, and the next. After the shepherd had passed through, there was just an empty clearing, the ground barren, as if nothing had ever grown there. The implication is horrifying. The Pustoshi isn't just a place where you can get lost or eaten. It's a place where you can be unmade, erased from the tapestry of reality by a silent, walking negation. The fear it inspires is not of death, but of complete and total non-existence. So what connects these tales? A dark forest, a perpetual mist, and monsters that seem born from our deepest fears. The Tanglewood Stalker, a physical predator. The Whispering Woe, a psychological manipulator. And the Grey Shepherd, an existential threat. Could they be different manifestations of a single, malevolent consciousness that resides within the Pustoshi? Or is this ancient forest a unique ecosystem for horrors? A sanctuary where multiple nightmares can coexist? Skeptics, of course, would offer rational explanations. The stalker could be a misidentified bear or a lynx, its form distorted by the disorienting fog. The voices of the woe could be auditory pareidolia, the mind creating patterns from the random sound of the wind, exacerbated by stress and grief. The Grey Shepherd, a bizarre but natural weather phenomenon, a unique type of fog formation, and the disappearances. Simply the tragic but logical outcome of people getting lost in a vast, dangerous, and unmapped wilderness. But can these explanations truly account for the consistency of the stories told over centuries by different people in different eras? Can they explain the feeling of being watched by glowing red eyes, the sound of a lost loved one's voice, or the sight of the very landscape being consumed and erased? The people who live there don't think so. For them, the Pustoshi is a place to be respected, and, above all, feared. They don't see the mist as water vapor. They see it as a shroud. The forest isn't just trees, it's a hunting ground. These tales are more than folklore. They are a survival guide for living on the edge of the unknown. They are a reminder that there are still places in this world that do not belong to us. Places where ancient things stir and the rules of our reality bend and break. The Pustoshi remains shrouded and silent, keeping its secret. Are the monsters real? Or are they simply manifestations of the human mind's fear of the dark and the unknown? Perhaps the only way to know for sure would be to walk into that mist and keep walking. But based on the stories, that's a one-way trip. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the chilling heart of the Pustoshi. What do you think lurks in the mist? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into the unknown, please hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of the world's greatest mysteries. Stay curious, and most importantly, stay safe out there.